It's another brand new episode of Manspeqtive Africa, and today I'm excited to be hosting a gentleman I admire, and he speaks quite well, Robert Burale himself. Tell us more about himself, but we are coming live from Airtime Communications, and this has been made possible courtesy of Clique Pictures. You can get them for your corporate productions, you can get them photography, whatever production needs you have, you can come and get them from Clique Pictures. Check them on the social media and every other page. And before we start, Mr. Robert Burale.
Yes, sir.
You're a jack of all trades.
Am I?
I know you are a master of one.
Yes.
Perhaps you can tell our audience who you are.
Oh, my name is Mr. Burale.
Okay.
I'm just that guy.
Yeah.
From Busia.
Okay.
Yes.
You come from Busia?
I'm from Busia.
I've always thought that you come from Mumias.
Why
you
Mumias?
give Mumias vibes.
No, I'm from Busia. Yes.
Okay.
Just a man who, like Dr. Miles Monroe said, wants to die empty.
Yeah.
So I need to deposit whatever I have on this side of eternity.
Yeah.
I'm a pastor. I'm a speaker. I'm a trainer. I'm a mentor. I'm an actor. I'm an author.
Wow.
I do radio. And I make noise here and there. And these guys, Clique guys, they have done work for me before.
Oh, they have done work for you?
Absolutely fantastic.
All right. Yeah, the founder, George, and the team, they are professional.
Their turnaround time is very good.
Extremely professional.
Yeah.
They're not people you'll follow through. And by the way, you know we are live on KTN. If you're watching us on KTN, it's every Wednesday at 8 p.m. But of course, if you're on KTN, you can catch us on our YouTube channel, that is Manspeqtive Africa. Subscribe, like, and comment. And let us know who you want us to host next. Mr. Burale.
Yes, sir.
It is 2025.
Uh-huh.
Something we were talking about before the camera started rolling,
Yes.
about the power of knowing your value.
Right.
Maybe perhaps you can start from there, especially if you want to speak to the young men who watch our show. Our show
Right.
is watched by men between the ages of 18 and 35,
Right.
18 to 35,
That's
who
it.
form almost 56% of our audience.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Knowing your value is everything about life.
Yeah.
If you don't understand your value, you'll answer to every call, even a please call me, thank you. You understand what I'm saying? So how do you know your value is based on what you carry on the inside. It's identity. Identity is an inside job. What do you carry on the inside? Like you've never seen Mercedes-Benz being test driven by just anybody, you know. By the time you go to the showroom, you already know what you want. It speaks for itself. And you cannot ask them to give you a discount. By the time you're going there, you understand its value. So you go there knowing you're going to pay for the value. And that's what we should do as human beings, is what do you carry on the inside? What is your inside package? Like for me, for example, I know my content. I'm a speaker. I speak by God's grace all over the world. So by the time somebody's inviting me, I know what I'm bringing to the table. So nobody will tell me, you know, you're only coming to speak for 25 minutes, so charge us this. You're not paying for the 25 minutes.
You're paying for the work that has
All
been
the
done.
years.
All the years.
You know, the sleepless nights. My, what we call thinking Thursday. Every Thursday I sit for 3 hours in silence. Every Thursday with a pen and a paper, and I write what I feel is being downloaded. So you're paying for all that. So when you, and I'm not saying be arrogant, just be confident in what you carry. And I've realized that's where many men struggle with. And because of this social media age, it's the best and the worst thing that happened. So people look for their, excuse me, look for their identity on how many comments they receive, how many likes they have. So everybody keeps checking on their phone. So how many likes? Only 3, 5 hours later, then they start feeling downcast. But if you know who you are, even with 1 like, and maybe that's your landlord looking for you, you are still okay. So young men, and women for that matter, must understand what they carry, understand the value they bring to the table. Your value does not end with what you think about yourself. Your value starts with what you think about yourself and the confidence in what you give to people, and it will change their lives.
Something you said that I want us to just spend a bit more time there.
Right.
This very small line, thin line between confidence and arrogance. We live in a country where if you're confident, people might actually call you arrogant.
Right.
Just by saying that I think I'm the best speaker.
I've been told that before.
You've been told that before, you know. How do you balance that line so that
Step on it. There's no balancing. What are you balancing? Balance your accounts. Step on that line. And if you're stepping on that line in confidence, arrogance is making somebody else feel less of a human being. You've deliberately done that. But if your confidence makes somebody feel less of a human being, yet that was not your intention, then the problem is not you, it is them having a lack of identity. So step on that in.
So don't let people project their own low self-esteem issues on you.
No,
by
don't.
Wanting to dim your light just because maybe
somebody will come and insult you on social media.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm insulted like malaria tablets sometimes 3 times a day. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For me, let me tell you the truth.
Yeah.
I know I am one of the top speakers in Africa and beyond.
Yeah, I like that.
If anybody has a problem, they can go to Jerry Spring and report me. I mean, you just have to know what you carry. Because I understand the gift that God gave me, but I have nurtured it. I have studied. I have spent sleepless nights. For 8 months, Dannish, I would speak to an empty sitting room. 8 months, every day for 45 minutes. I would give a speech every day. At one time I was speaking, when I turned, my house help was there. And she told me, mzee, naenda nyumbani nitarudi. She has never come back because she thought this guy is cuckoos. But so those are the days or the things that people don't see. So you're not just paying for me to open my mouth when they say, now, ladies and gentlemen, on stage is Mr. Burale. No, you're paying for those 8 months that even somebody resigned because they thought I'm cuckoos. You're paying for the Thinking Thursday. You have paid for the times I have studied and researched. You're paying for all that. You understand?
Yeah. And I like what you said, because in 2025, there are many men who, and women by extension, who are planning to succeed, but many of them might actually fail. You know, so perhaps in your experience as a leader, as a speaker, and all these things that you do, how then do we set ourselves for success, or at least get our goals to be achieved?
Back to what you said in the beginning. Understand your value.
Understand your value.
Your success is hidden in who you are. Your true identity. Not what you post on social media. I know people who post affluence on social media, but they cannot afford 3 meals a day. So that's what we think of them. So you'll never be successful. You will struggle to make people think you're successful. So number one, understand who you are. Work on it. Understand your circle as well. Somebody once said, if you hang around 4 millionaires, you probably will be the 5th millionaire. If you hang around 4 fools, you will be the 5th fool. Exceedingly, abundantly, above all, you could think, ask, or even imagine. So who is in your circle? And if there are more than 5, whichever hospital is near you, go and get your head checked. If your inner circle is more than, in fact, 5 is very generous. You should have 3. The one the world called ride or die, those ones. People who tell you, and your inner circle is also based on value. If your inner circle are guys of, let's go to Naivasha for the weekend, come na madem, mina come na pombe. Yes, they're your friends, but you're all facing the mortuary. You'll die, but you'll be alive. You understand? So your inner circle. And then be a knowledge seeker. Dannish, the day you stop seeking knowledge, your right leg is on a banana peel and your left leg is on a slippery floor. You will fall. You seek knowledge every day. The day you stop is the day you die. And even the day you die, people must still seek knowledge from you through the post-mortem. You have to give knowledge even in death.
I like what you said, you know. So when did you learn this? How did you learn all these things that you're saying, like from your lived experience? How has it been?
I learned this through struggle. I went through hell and high water. Through mistakes of my own and others through attacks. And I said, Brother Robert, I looked at myself in the mirror and I had a conversation with the man in the mirror. And that's one thing everybody must do after watching this show. Have a conversation with the man in the mirror. I looked at the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I started starving the ugly and the bad. I started amplifying the good. So what is the good? I took a pen and a paper and wrote my giftings. I am a good speaker. I have charisma. So how can I use this? And God told me, go to Jeremiah chapter number 1. Before you were born, I knew you. Before your birth, I consecrated you. I've made you a prophet to the nations. A prophet to the nation does not mean I say, hey, Odongo, I know your phone number. No. A prophet to the world is a message to the world. And that's how I started. The first speaking gig, I was paid 500 shillings. And they thought they had changed my life. 500 shillings.
500 shillings?
Yes. But why did I not stop it? Because the passion in me to speak could not let me give up. I was disappointed at the 500 shillings. But because of the passion speaks louder than the discouragement. And I said, I'll keep on grinding. The next one was 7,000 shillings. From 7,000, I jumped to 140,000.
Within a span of how long?
4 months.
4 months?
Yes.
And all this time you're still doing the 8 months by speaking to an
So after
empty
that,
yeah.
I started now practicing.
Okay.
Back after 6 months, I started seeing a crowd. You know, I remember the first gig, 500. The second one, the guy encouraged me, my good friend, and we still work together. It's called Pepe Minambo.
I know Pepe Minambo.
One of the best speakers I think this continent has. And we work a lot together. He's somewhere in another country. Yeah. And I said, okay, fine, I'm going to build this. He gave me a very big platform at KCC at the launch of his book. And I felt this is a crowd because there were HR directors there, there were top guys there. And that's the day I said, if these guys can listen to me, then I have something to offer. It's different when a group of people who have smoked bangi listen to you. Yeah. But when serious corporate honchos listen to you, you're onto something. Yeah. And that was the beginning.
That was the launching pad for you.
Yes.
You say many things which I think are extremely important, especially for our audience. I like what you're saying. And I think it's very important because I think the struggle we have is that there are so many young men who have not been told who they are, or nobody has given them a chance, or nobody has taken a bet on them and say, I'm going to hold your hand and give you a platform like this, where you're going to meet all these type of people, you know. And people like you, perhaps who are successful, or people who have gone ahead of us, have been accused of not really holding the hands of young men. Right. Do you think that's a fair accusation?
I think, to be honest, we should hold their hands more. Yeah. But also young men also need to get themselves checked. I'm not going to look for a young man. Bro, I'm not going to wake up now asking who wants to be mentored. Yeah. I'm not going to do that. Yeah. I know it sounds very arrogant. Yeah. We have no time for that. Yeah. You know, if you want something,
you go for it. Yeah.
But there's a young man who came to my office. Yeah. Says, because what I do, if somebody looks for me, I drag them. It's part of the test. Or, Burale, can I meet you today? I said, no, I'll tell you when I'm available. Another 2 months, I'm dragging you. So I want to see how bad you want it. So after 6 months, this young man comes to my office and I said, okay, fine. You've really looked for me. How can I help you? He says, I want you to mentor me. I said, okay, fine. What have you seen in me that is worthy to be called a mentor? He says, I said, okay, fine. Do you realize that's what you see? There's a part of me that you will not like. I'm not a perfect man. I named 3. Can you handle this? Yes, sir. So he said, after all this, what do you want? He told me, I want to be famous like you. I told him, look at that door, get out. Yeah. When you have time, come back. Yeah. Yeah. So I've met young men who you mentor, but they've come for the wrong reasons. I've met others who are desperate for it, genuinely, and they partake of what we carry. Yeah. I've met others who have mentored, and then you hear they were talking bad about me in another crowd. I disconnect. Even mentoring is very spiritual. Yeah. So, and then when you see arrogance in these young men, I just pull out. When I sense arrogance, I pull out. Anytime I sense you're doing it for you,
there's no higher call, there's no higher call.
Yeah. I pull out. Yeah. I will not be involved in that. Because I want, by the time everybody is dying, they said there lies a great man, there lies a great woman. So when I sense this one is doing it for himself, it's to build himself or herself, I slowly but carefully disconnect. There must be a higher calling.
There must be a higher calling.
That's everything.
So for you, it is to honor God. For somebody else, it might be to what?
For themselves.
For themselves. So what is this higher calling that you talk about?
Purpose.
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 Okay.
Purpose. You are serving purpose here. Yeah. Because you have called me. Yeah. And I have come because I honor what you're doing. Yeah. Somebody else would have called me and I would have said no. So what are you doing? There are people watching us right now. They're getting information. It's purpose. You're making people find their path by the guests that you're bringing and by the content you're also giving as a speaker. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So for me, is God said, before you're born, I knew you. And before you were birthed, I put something on you. And that something is not for yourself. Yeah. It is for other people. So if I don't give it to other people, and I'm doing it for myself, then I'm useless.
You're very right. Because I think a big challenge that we have in the world we're living in right now is vanity, you know. Because I think sometimes we're just more drawn, like, for example, RB, I've seen the car you've driven in, I mean, here in, you know. Yes. And I see your social media footprint, and I see how you speak in the platforms, and I want the glory.
Right.
But I don't know that this glory does not come just because, maybe there's a magic wand that I need to wave.
Can they handle the pain?
I don't think many can.
Oh, no, they can't.
Yeah.
Can they handle the insults you get on social media?
Yeah.
Just 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
somebody was insulting me very badly. Or, I've written a book called From the Strip Club to the Pulpit. That's my first book. And they said, oh, Burale used to be a stripper. Then another one saying, oh, Burale maybe he's speaking about purity. He's in the LGBTQ. Yeah. We get all those insults. Yeah. Can they handle such?
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Can they handle, yes, you'd see me in my car. Mm-hmm. Can they handle sometimes in that car? You're as lonely could be. You understand? Yeah.
Many people cannot handle, but we want the
They want the glory.
We want the glory.
You want the invites. You want
the red card.
Business class travel. You're all over the world.
Yeah.
But do you know what betrayal is?
Yeah.
Do you know what insults is that people can sit and say, tomorrow we will say this about this guy? I have been called Illuminati because I love wearing black.
Yeah.
But I'll not stop wearing black.
Yeah.
That because I like wearing black.
Yeah.
I have been called Sujui what? I have been told wherever you are divorced, you can't preach about marriage. I've been told all those things. But remember, some people insult you not because they hate. I never take it personally. Sometimes it's attacking who you are in as far as what God is doing in your life. Other people attack you because they have access to free Wi-Fi. Everybody standing outside like a restaurant, it's not because they're waiting for somebody.
Yeah.
It's that free Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Because they have to insult somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when they insult them, how do they feel better about themselves by insulting?
When you see people insulting others,
Yeah.
it's because there's an insecurity about themselves.
Yeah.
So they want other people to feel what they're feeling themselves in private. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So just don't take it personally. Shake off.
I'm going to put you on the spotlight here.
Please
honestly.
do. I like spotlight.
Sometimes successful men like you misinterpret or misread accountability for attacks. How have you managed that? Because sometimes people can just hold you accountable and say, what you're saying here does not make sense. Someone might say, this is ethnic profiling.
Yes.
Or this is not right,
Yes.
So at that level, how do you also still listen to fair criticism that can make you grow, but also realize that these are attacks, I don't need to pay attention?
Yes. Now, the reason I have grown, and I say this with a lot of honor to God, is because I know what constructive criticism is. Like I did a talk in a university, and I said, confidence of a Luo man, beauty of a Taita woman. Some people thought I was being tribal. Now, because they just saw
a small
clip of a 27-minute speech. Now, let me use this platform, if you may, to teach people about communication.
Okay.
Number one is the introduction, capture. Number two is the body, the meat of what you're going to talk about. Number three is non-verbal communication. It is where you speak in silence, but very loudly. Number four is where you bring the light moments. Why? When you crack a joke, people will remember the joke that will drive them to remember the serious thing that you spoke. So when I said about appetite of a Luya man, it's true, I'm Luya. It's not that anybody who knows me personally would know I am not a tribal person. I was saying that in the most light way possible. Even the ones who are saying, oh, ethnic profiling, they know it's not ethnic profiling. They just say, this is a chance to attack this man.
And I think we live in a world where we take very small moments. Like, for example, if you post a nice picture of you on Instagram, people don't know that that is just like a moment you've taken a photo, but there's a whole life ukunyuma.
That's it.
That I cannot use this just to judge you, whether for good or for bad,
Exactly.
But I also think that we are becoming extremely sensitive and politically correct.
Right.
That we are now censoring ourselves. We cannot just speak openly and say what is on our mind, because I think there's nothing wrong with saying the pride of a Luo man. What's wrong with that? This positive ethnicity. Why we only look at the negative ethnicity? That lazima tu any, we are so used to profiling people in a negative ethnicity.
It's because people are angry.
Yeah.
If today I came and I found you angry, I say, brother Odongo, how are you?
Yeah.
Leave me alone. It's not my problem.
Yeah.
You're dealing with some anger issues.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So people are angry.
Yeah.
I mean, in fact, when somebody said ethnic profiling, I actually laughed. And I said, I'm not going to put that in my heart. But to answer what you had asked, which I don't think I exhaustively did it, is what we call honest criticism. I take that. And that is one of the reasons I have grown. Because I know the spirit behind somebody saying this and this and that. You know, there's a time I used a word. It's a funny word. I don't want to use it. Somebody called me and said, no, in your caliber, don't be using those words. And I didn't say, I may have been speaking, and this one is not even a speaker. I said, no, this person is speaking from a point of a listener. So maybe others felt the same, cringed when I said it. So I took that and I changed and I moved on. But you just attack me because you don't like how I look. You attack me because I'm tall.
Yeah.
I have a big nose like a lawyer.
Yeah.
I can smell tomorrow. I've gotten to a place, and I'm sorry, this may appear like I don't care.
Yeah.
I'll tell you honestly, and I want everybody to hear this, and I want people to grow like this.
Yeah.
When somebody is hating on you, don't bother. Don't lose sleep. And number two, don't respond to some things. Yeah.
Yeah. Ignore some of them and stuff like that. I want us to take a little bit of, move to the next level. But I'm also fascinated about successful men who make very obvious mistakes. You know, for example, you're extremely successful. You command maybe a large thing, or let's just say you're a public figure, you know. But they still make certain rookie mistakes. Is it because they're human beings, or because maybe when you've grown too much, you think that now I'm too big to fail?
We are human, number one.
Yeah.
Number two, saa zingine kiburi.
Yeah.
You know, you feel, who will tell me anything? Biggest mistake you can ever make. In fact, that's why I talked about having a very close-knit circle. People who have not made to where you are, but can see the pitfalls that are facing you based on where. They are not there, but their eyes are there. Their mind can decipher. Listen to those people.
Yeah.
Even in the Bible, somebody got healed because of the advice of a house help. So don't ignore.
Yeah.
Do you have a mentor? You will never be a person of authority if you're not a person under authority. So there's somebody who mentors you, and there's somebody who you're mentoring. That keeps you in check. The one ahead of you calls you to order. The one behind you, you're like, I dare not fail, because if I fail, they will fail. So sometimes we get a bit arrogant. And at some point, Dannish, I was there. Yeah. I didn't want to hear anybody. Yeah. And that's 1 year I made great mistakes.
Yeah. But Robert, at this level, how are you? Because I also know that there's a lot of danger lurking around you. There are people who are waiting for you to fail. There are people who are waiting for you to fall. They're looking, I think, because it's much easier to attack those who are on the limelight, people who are public, you know. It must be very difficult to be Robert Burale, especially in the era we're living in. How do you ensure that you don't fall into some of these traps?
Christ. For me, it's God. Such a dangerous life. Because I can tell you, you know, every day, somebody's planning something. Every day. You don't know where to eat, who to trust. Even my phone. I'm very, very cagey with my phone because I don't know who's recording me on the other side. I've been recorded quite a few times.
Without knowing?
Yeah, of course.
So for what exactly?
Everybody has their motive for that. So, it's dangerous. Without God, I don't know where I would be. I mean, let me tell you the truth. I can show you messages. Somebody says, bro, I'm in this group. Somebody saying, we just chafua your Gina. This was last week. Yeah. I'm like, you know what, God? You're the all-seeing God. What do I do? And that's why I remain in my place of purpose. When you're in your place of purpose, God fights your battles. Yeah. I mean, there are things I've been through. I'm like, will I rise up from this one? And guess what? I even get better. Yeah. The prayers of my mother. Yeah.
But there must be practical things you do, because Robert, sometimes I feel like people like you who have, and many people, even myself, we don't give people the actual blueprint, because maybe sometimes you have like rules. I don't respond to certain messages. I don't go to certain places. I don't do certain things. There are certain things, and it's the way I carry myself.
Yes. Now, some of the things I do, number one, my house. Yeah. Very few people come to my house.
Robert, you must be getting a lot of advances from women.
Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Man, I need to get married quickly. Yes. I need to get married quickly. Bro, wacha nioe tafadhali. I mean, we are all social beings. Yeah, I mean, I'm not different from any other man.
But Robert, how will you get married when you're Robert Burale? I'm sorry to ask that.
Bro, I don't have the grace to be single. Unaamka unalala kama question mark hivi.
But then I mean, all these options you have, and I know the inboxes, and you know, it's going to be very difficult for you to discern who is genuine and who's not.
Very, but that's why God is there for me. Yeah. Maybe that's why I've taken a long time. But I'm getting married soon. Nimekuja hapa nimebeba mandazi na juice kwa gari. If I was married, bacon, scrambled egg. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, but even for my next level, I believe marriage is very key. What am I saying? I'm also a minister of the gospel. And I know there's a place for the grace of God. But there is a dimension I need to get to. And I'm not there yet, not because I don't have the anointing or the grace. There are just some things that God wants me to put in order. And I do believe marriage is one of those things. Yeah. I desire and it will happen. Yeah. You either marry a wife or a knife. Choice is yours, bro. That's what the Bible says. He that finds a wife findeth a good thing and obtaineth favor. Now watch this. He that findeth a wife, not a woman. A woman has the sexual anatomy of a woman. All right? That's your gender. But a wife, so a woman must be a wife before she gets married. So you're not called a wife because you got married. No, the grace of a wife must be there. Women are many. Women are twerking all over the club. On top of bonnets when they go to the rally in Naivasha. I know you're not happy with what I'm saying. But listen, you're not going to twerk on top of a bonnet. You're twerking on this Subaru. Your daughter and your son are smoking shtundu on the other side. And then you go to church on Sunday, Father, give me a husband. You'll be as empty as the Arsenal trophy cabinet.
So you're saying that you're going to get married soon and nobody comes to your house. Those are the things that you do that, you know, keep you as Robert Burale, so that then whatever it is that you carry does not...
So nobody, when I say nobody, it's not nobody.
I get what you mean.
I'm very guarded about who comes to my house. Number two, I rarely speak to people on phone calls now. I rarely. I actually rarely. When I realize that somebody can record and use AI to turn something into different, I stopped. Number three, I totally submit to God. He's the only one who protects me. He's the all-seeing God. He's the one who sees what people are planning when you're asleep. You understand what I'm saying? Number four, a very close-knit circle. My accountability friends are only 3. Those ones, we can call each other out anytime. They can come to my house even at 2 o'clock in the morning to make sure there's no woman there saying, kill me, kill me, kill me. You know what I mean? You know? What else do I do? Really, I'm just that simple. And I just serve God.
And I just serve God. But let's go back to that marriage thing.
Yes, sir.
And you do a lot of men's conferences and stuff like that. I think this is an area that many men who get it wrong, get it absolutely wrong, and many men have gotten it wrong. And they're paying a very heavy price for that. Is that your assessment of the state of marriages?
No, it's true. Marriages don't end wrong. They start wrong. What are the reasons as to why you're going into marriage? Marriage must be brought about not by sex. Bro, you can have sex from anybody. Anybody. In fact, there are women who can give you better than your own wife. You understand what I'm saying? It's purpose that is the number one thing. You know, you didn't realize what you just said. When I got married, now I have the time to produce, to call. Purpose. Then the other things are benefits of a marriage knit in purpose. You understand? The companionship, the friends, the bed gymnastics and all those things, but purpose. You understand? And you see, even now, your demeanor. Look at your videos. 7 months ago.
Very different.
And now,
very different.
It's different.
The body language changes. The energy.
You see, even though you're sitting.
Exactly.
Like you think you're in your house. But also, there's also a pitfall. There'll be a Jezebel, a Delilah,
Yeah.
positioning themselves.
Yeah.
There are women
Yeah.
who position themselves for men who are married only. It's a spiritual thing.
But Robert, let me tell you, and I believe this with my entire heart, that unless the Lord helps a man to marry right, that man can never marry right. That woman can never marry right.
A good wife is
unless
from the
the
Lord.
Lord helps.
It's only from the Lord.
Unless the Lord helps. And I think maybe we are on national television and you know, there are restrictions about some of these things. But you're a young man, you're attracted to many things. Maybe you like certain parts of the body. Maybe you think this is what I need.
Bro, those hips will lie.
Exactly.
It's like even that six-pack that woman likes. Have you ever seen a man who goes to the gym alafu akacheck on the gym? This thing falls up to here. The man walks as if he needs physiotherapy. Those are things that are, beauty is fleeting, physical. And I'm not saying you also marry a man or a woman who looks like an apology. No, you also have your preference. But there are more eternal things.
I agree with you.
And we should be discussing these things, even this national television, not this one.
Yeah.
But I went to speak somewhere out of the country and I was told I cannot mention the name of God. What's happening in media?
No, forget about those people who are saying we cannot mention God.
But do you know I did do that interview?
Yeah.
I left.
Yeah. No, you cannot put
You
restrictions
tell
on my
me
faith. Yeah.
we cannot mention God, but every day you people are mentioning LGBTQ.
Exactly.
Your gender is assigned at birth.
Yeah.
I know they'll come after me, but it's okay. And they use all strategies to try to silence me.
Yeah.
Male or female. You can't. You know, I googled. There are 77 genders.
Now,
77. People are gone crazy.
77 genders.
77. And someone is calling himself a penguin, sijui donkey, sijui what. Satan. President Trump said that your gender is assigned at birth.
Yeah.
So if you're not going to talk about God, don't speak about. In fact, they should give the nursery kids back the alphabet.
Yeah.
Well, I know they'll come after me, but it's fine.
But for me, I think that's usually a non-issue. And I think we try to do all these conversations to try and take us away from the core things.
And
like
bro,
right now,
but kids are affected.
Yeah, like right now, I'm being very honest with you, Robert, that many men are dying by suicide. You know that very well.
Over 77%.
Exactly. Majority of deaths on our roads, what we call fatal road accidents, are by men.
Stress.
Do you know that a lot of joblessness is by men?
Yes.
Right now, we are seeing like men's fortunes are dwindling in almost every major way. And we're not saying that, I think also we must call out this agenda, which I think is from the devil, that we can empower one gender and not another.
Yeah.
That we think that by taking away from this gender and giving this gender, or by taking away from this gender and giving this gender, that we can actually make any sort of
Let me
progress.
surprise you.
Yeah.
I've done men's conferences for the last 7 years.
Yeah.
Only once have I ever gotten sponsorship from a corporate company. Because it's men. It's sad. We have ignored the men for too long. And I remember one time I told a lady who I tried to get sponsorship from, I said, these are the men who you expect to marry your daughters. Yet you don't care about these men. And then in 10 years you'll be saying, where are the men? You've left them. No, we have to bring back the man to the place he's supposed to be. Yeah. So men are angry because we have been shunned, we have been ignored, we have been ostracized. And that's why you say men are dying. In days of Uhuru Park, you'd go there and see men lying down there from 8 to 5 in the evening, just to go back home to more noise. I mean, it's not easy. And I'm not downplaying that women also go through hell and high water. But because we are talking about men, it's a man. It's not easy being a man. It's a privilege to be a man, but it's difficult to be a man. The pressure is too much. There is personal pressure, societal pressure, and the family pressure. Society does not expect a man to cry. If you go and tell somebody right now, there's this video, I think it was on social media a couple of weeks ago, where a woman was threatening to stab the man. I don't know if you watched that video.
Na nikichukua usicomplain. Usitenda. Okay, you see I'm bleeding. So if I attack you, it's a self-defense.
I said, if there was no CCTV, nobody would have believed this man. And I said, if this man had gone to a police station to say, my wife is beating me, even before they put the OB, the cops would have laughed at him. What kind of man are you? That's why when men go through hell, they keep quiet.
Because we're not believed.
Yeah, then the day it blows up, because it's a pressure cooker, and the lid is on. So the day it blows up, it's either they commit suicide or they go and ram them they just kill somebody.
Exactly.
I was watching a video just today, a man in Nigeria, but that's a demonic thing. He just said he chopped the wife's head because the wife was sleeping with another man. And he was like, why did you do that? Because she told me I'm a useless man. Ego again. You understand what I'm saying? Then he was asked by the reporter, why did you just walk away? No, I had to prove to the other man that I'm powerful.
Many men do the mistake of proving that they are men. Well, you don't even need to prove to your man.
Don't prove to anybody.
Just be a man.
Don't
You don't need to prove to anybody that you're a man.
In fact, how do you know you're a man?
Yeah.
When you serve God.
Yeah.
Nothing else. A man is not known by the car he drives. Even drug dealers drive.
Yeah.
Your man is not gauged by the mansion he lives in. Corrupt government official live in mansion.
Yeah. Yeah.
Purpose.
Yeah.
Are you serving humanity?
Yeah.
That's the most important thing. I'm not saying we don't. I mean, I love a good car. I love a good house.
But that's a byproduct of the purpose
That's it.
that you're living.
Seek ye first the kingdom of God and its righteousness. And the Bible continues to say, and all other things shall be added.
I think it's important that we spend a bit more time speaking to especially, men who are lost, or because I do a lot of work around in the mental health space. And one of the things that I think many men struggle with and they don't know how to deal with is addictions. We're talking about gambling, we're talking about drugs and substance abuse, we're talking about sex, we're talking about just these very deep-seated addictions. Why are men prone to addiction?
Because you're looking for acceptance. Men who go to procure the services of prostitutes want to be made to feel as if they're the king. And what they don't realize, if you're paying this woman 10K around, she will tell you everything you want to hear. She will call you the king, the man who can walk on water. You understand? So it's men looking for acceptance. When you see a 70-year-old man sleeping with a 22-year-old girl, it's because he wants to feel like he's in control. And that woman will lie, I have never had a strong man like you. Yet the man was please call me, thank you. You understand what I'm saying? But it's about looking for something. When I was addicted to strip clubs, I went there to be told I'm the king of Zamunda. And I would go there, borrow money to go there, and you give these women a lot of money. It's borrowed. But I loved what they used to tell me. You are not like the other guys giving 100 shillings. But those guys giving 100 shillings is their money. Yeah. It made me feel good. So when I go home and sleep on a Thursday, I'm like, Friday can't come any sooner. Because I want to be told the same thing. You enter the strip club, you first have your coffee. When you enter, you remove, you say, the king is here. Yeah. And then those women come and dance and they're looking at you straight in the eye. They make you feel like the king. Yeah. Many people deal with the addiction. Oh, so you're addicted to drugs, let's deal with that. No, you never succeed like that. Go to the root cause. Chop it from the root, and the tree will not sprout again. Yeah. You understand? Yeah. So some is, of course, childhood trauma, but now it's people who go for gambling. What do they want? Money. And if you have money, you have power, as the world has taught us. People who go and supply air during COVID, what do they want? Money, to show you have power. People who do wash, it's money, then you have power. So you go back to the root cause. It's a lack of identity. What was happening when they were growing up? What were they told? How useless they were? So we need to work on that and fill them with the right identity. Yeah.
What did you discover was this thing that was driving you to go to the strip club?
Identity.
Identity.
That's it.
Yeah.
I just felt good being told I'm the guy.
What was it about you that made you want to be told that you're the guy?
Because when I was young, I went through some things in the hands of another lady house help that we had. Yeah. So two things. I wanted acceptance, but I also wanted to punish every woman on behalf of that woman. Yeah.
It's a very profound thing, because I think
I say many profound things, bro.
Yeah. You're a profound man. Because I remember when I had a heartbreak in high school. That heartbreak, I was sort of like somebody took the girlfriend I liked. Of course, eventually.
Have you met her? Have you ever met again?
Took me 10 years to meet her again. And when I met her, and she told me that, no, it's just that we lost contact, nothing else happened. Because sometimes the way I was judging that thing as a 15-year-old man who was his testosterone on.
Yes, you felt rejected.
I felt rejected, it felt really painful. However, it's just that she went to a national school, I went to a district school, and then we lost contact. That's it. But when I met her 10 years later, I lifted up my hands to God and said, thank you that this did not work.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'd grown. She had not
grown.
grown. So I'm like,
All things work together
All
for
things
good.
work together for good.
I also faced a heartbreak.
Yeah.
I used to date a Muslim girl from Ngara Girls. Beautiful. I think she used to live in South Sea. She broke up with me and I sent her a song by Roxette. It must have been love, but it's over now. Yeah, I mean, a man has to go through all those things.
Yeah. But my point is this, that you find that a man is 50, but the rejection that happened to them at 15 still has a bearing on the choices they make at 50.
That's it.
And you see that on a national scale. Maybe you grew up in poverty, but now you are a public official, but now you must put your hand in the cookie jar of the nation or of the county.
When you think poverty.
Yeah, because then you have to amass so that they will never tell me that I'm poor again. But nobody, I mean, people have moved on. The person who hurt you here, in something like
Inside
that.
job.
Yeah.
I said on TV the other day that all these politicians need to be taken to a conference and they sit down for 3 days to be taught some things. Politicians have you realized most politicians are now content creators? They're not leaders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Politicians are content creators.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah.
Okay, let me and some, I mean, I have friends who are politicians, but the truth is, look at the days when we had parliament of the likes of Mr. Martin Shikuku, George Anyona,
Or the senior Sefuna.
Yes. Yeah. I like even this Junior Sifuna.
Yeah, even Junior
He's
Sifuna is
brilliant.
quite good.
Yeah, he's a senator.
Yeah.
I think he's one of the most forward-thinking politicians that we have.
Agree.
And how do you know he's forward-thinking? His clarity of mind. And I see him on TV, people are losing their head and he just looks at you first.
Yeah.
Just cocking his gun. And
getting you there.
He will say something, it will hit you so hard.
Yeah.
I mean, do you know sometimes I go on TikTok
and
I Google Senator Sifuna, I search Senator Sifuna just to watch his punchlines.
Yeah.
But I admire more of his thought process because it says a lot about the kind of person he is. So we miss those days of the Martin Shikukus, the George Anyonas, who else? I mean, okay, these guys on camera are too young to know what I'm talking about.
Robert, there's a young man here who's 21 and dating a 19-year-old, and maybe he's been left and he feels like his world has come to an end. What would you tell that 21-year-old?
Bro, at 21 you should be watching TV. You're not old enough to talk about we'll have 5 kids when you get married. You understand what I'm saying? A girl matures at the age of 24.
Yeah.
Any girl below the age of 24 is not ready for a relationship.
And a man?
Man even mature later.
Yeah.
So at 21, I'm thinking marriage. Bro, wake up. No. And don't get social media pressure. You want to, because everybody is doing that, you want to do it. Don't fall for that. Yeah. And one thing you also don't have to understand, at 21, you cannot be having sex. You can't.
What if they are?
Do PlayStation. No, because if a woman tells you you're 21 that I'm pregnant with triplets, you can't even take care of your own Fuliza account. What are you going to do taking care of that child? If you cannot take care of the responsibility that comes out from the pleasure, then you have no rights in the Constitution, in the heaven and on the earth to unzip your trouser. Watch I hapo juu. The time will come. But at 21, if you are told somebody is pregnant, you'll be a father, what will you do? The first thing you'll do, Mommy, what do I do? So right now, just get to know each other. We are social beings, but don't ever lie to yourself that this is my long-term plan. I met a young girl and she had dated a boy for 5 years. And remember, the mother is a very good friend of mine. I said to the mother, these ones will not get married. Oh no, they're in love. They broke up. You see, even you had broken at 15. But at 15, we've asked you, you would have said, you even named your 6 children.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I felt like I was going to die.
Yeah.
That heartbreak was terrible. I thought I was going to die.
Yes.
But it was not very serious. Now I'm older and I've gone through much worse experiences.
Exactly.
And you realize that, that was child's play.
Yeah. So to the young people, be extremely careful. Also, the pressure of social media is making these young people get lost. Don't try and get to an age before you get there.
Robert, I'll be very honest with you that when I watch your content online, I was fascinated, and I'm glad that for the first time we're sitting down to have a very interesting conversation. That it just feels like I'm talking to a bigger brother, And it's not anything like interview.
That's why I said no suits today.
Yeah.
I watch a lot of your shows, by the way. I've watched a lot of your content.
Yeah.
And I think you're doing a fantastic job.
As we come to an end of this show,
Yes.
maybe perhaps your final words in terms of speaking to a young man who perhaps is in the village or perhaps somewhere else riding a motorbike. By the way, there's a day I went to Webuye,
Right.
and a pump attendant told me that, well, I love what you're doing.
You see?
Manspeqtive.
Impact.
There's a time I was in Umoja Tena, a motorbike driver called me by my name, Dannish Odongo, hey, Nyaje.
You see?
And I said, we like what you're doing, stuff like that,
It's impact.
So I think we speak to the ordinary men who perhaps have been sidelined or forgotten. And I like that even when you go online, you see how they're engaging, they're looking for this content and they love it. But the majority of our audience, 85% are men.
Right.
Yeah.
This is good.
Probably.
Of course.
So with that in mind, perhaps you could just, give them a final word for 2025, stuff like that.
For 2025, that's my camera, right? Yeah. Okay. For 2025, I need you to understand something. Impact is key. You don't have to be impacting millions of people. You may want nations, but God will make you impact whoever is the one who will be given nations. But that impact will also be drawn back to you. It's like network marketing. And hear me, in the digital era, we tend to think that only those who are online are the ones who are making impact. No. Some people are loud online. Being loud online is not equated to impact because you can say foolish things loudly. So make sure whatever God put in you for the society, release it, because your coffin does not like a heavy person. I don't mean heavy in weight, heavy in what God has put in you. But today, you are one day closer to your death. Even if you're going to die 50 years from today, you are still one day closer to your death. But what you got to do is make sure, like Dr. Miles Monroe said, die empty. And also a word of encouragement to Arsenal fans. Somebody said it's like Netflix. You're waiting for next season. It is well with your soul. Did I just say that?
I like that. The Arsenal fans will be in our comment section. It's all banter.
In fact, my camera guy ni morali mtu wa Arsenal amepointiwa hapo.
Karibu anaweza kusabotage by the
No,
way.
I think ashazima.
Anaweza zima mic, akuzimia mic. Unaongea kama unajiongelesha. But Robert, it's been absolutely an absolute pleasure because you can be an intimidating person in terms of your profile and your brand. But I'm glad that you've been very gracious.
Thank you.
You responded to our message. You sent me voice notes saying I'm late. And I felt really honored, and I said, this is a fantastic man.
Amen.
Thank you so much for that.
My pleasure.
And the fact that you actually accepted this call last week and then you came on set and you've recorded such a fantastic conversation. I pray that our audience gets to enjoy it from you and they get to be blessed by you and that God continues to lift you and to bless you as you continue.
And also pray you interview great men here. Amen. Kings.
Amen. We're already doing that. Good. So now it's just the next level.
After President Sasa.
Yeah. Result I'm get. What a better way to end the show. But Robert, I'm going to invite you again.
Anytime, sir.
The Manspeqtive Africa platform is available. We are very good reach. Our shows are watched on KTN. We have over 500,000 views per week.
And 2025, you shall multiply.
Absolutely. And we speak to different men. And I think that whatever it is that you want us to partner, whether it is through a media partnership, we can come and actually have a Manspeqtive, one of your men's conferences.
Absolutely.
Invite us. We'll be more than willing.
We are planning one. I'll tell you off camera so that we can align the dates.
Yeah. All right.